It is Wednesday, the day before Thanksgiving, and so it's going to be a long day in the kitchen, just doing a lot of the prep work for tomorrow. That way I'm not in the kitchen too much tomorrow. I'll still be in the kitchen, but trying to get the most of the work done. We have all the kids here. They had so much fun last night playing together and stuff, and got up this morning. We've had breakfast. I'm just finishing up my pie dough. I am making 6 pies, so 2 pumpkin, 2 pecan, and 2 apple. And I make my own pie dough crust. I didn't have time to do it yesterday, but I'm doing it first thing this morning, and then I'll move on to other things today. I'm excited, but it's even better when you have a partner in crime to be in the kitchen. So we're excited. What are we gonna do?
We are doing a lot of things, all the things. It's insane how many things we're doing, actually.
We have a long list, so we're gonna see what we're gonna do first. One of the things that I have always done is brined our turkey. I like brining because it seems to let the turkey be a little bit more moist. The one turkey that we're frying, I'm gonna use a different brine on, but the brines that I found, one, my father-in-law, Jerry, emailed to me. It's a recipe that he found. I think it was on Food Network. And then the other recipe that I've used for 10 years is Alton Brown's turkey recipe that he has on Food Network. I found it one year. It was like 10 years ago in a Food Network magazine. Yeah, this is from November 2010, so not quite 10 years ago. I had to take a pause in making the brines because the army got hungry. And we have to feed them because we're outnumbered, right?
Yeah, we are outnumbered.
So you feed them when they're hungry.
Keep them happy.
Yes, so we're gonna break for lunch. Back to the brine. My first brine is the Alton Brown one that I've been doing for quite a while. We're gonna add a gallon of broth in here. Right, now that we've got our vegetable stock in the pot, I'm gonna go ahead and add all the seasonings. It's kosher salt, brown sugar, allspice berries, black peppercorns, candied ginger, and that's it. So we're gonna add it all together, and then we're gonna let it simmer. And once I let it simmer, I'm gonna add a gallon of ice water to it. And once this is cooled tonight, right before I go to bed, I'll make sure and put the turkey in the brine and let it soak overnight. This is what I love. We have the girls in here getting the little girls ready. What are you gonna go do?
I think Aunt Sarah, I'm just helping them get ready. I'm not sure if I'm going to the park with them yet, but
Kenya loves her cousins, and she's so excited that they're here. We need to send her to go stay with Aunt Sarah for a couple of weeks. One thing I've tried to do is plan a couple activities throughout the day here. That way it keeps the kids from getting too restless and gives them a variety of things to try and do. So we're gonna move on to our next project. We have all these old boxes. I have some duct tape and string, and I'm going to challenge them all to rebuild the Mayflower out of boxes. I'm on my second brine. We have the first one. I had to find the crock pot just to transfer it. I'm running out of pots. So it'll cool, but I'm starting on the second one. So now I've got canola oil, and I'm gonna put garlic, onions, and oranges. We're gonna saute them, and then we're gonna add apple cider. And this is the second brine. This is gonna be for our fried turkey. And we'll see how this one tastes because it's our first year doing it. This is check number 2 on the Mayflower. Micah has came and told me that it is complete. And we've had some dedicated few. Micah was one of them. Who else stayed out there?
I did.
All right, guys. Everybody get in the Mayflower. Oh, wow, the flag even goes up. Look at this. Good job, guys.
It's not exactly the best.
It's not the best because it's made out of paper.
That's okay. Okay, everybody go and point that way.
This way, actually.
Oh, that's the bow of the boat. Why don't you guys turn the boat around really quick?
No, we can't do that.
Okay, everybody point to the back. And go like this. Yeah, everybody wave. You're leaving England. No, wave at me. Now look out at the sea. The voyagers. Okay, now we're gonna add this apple cider. Now that I have simmered my apple cider, and we've got the oranges and everything in there, I'm gonna add 1 cup of kosher salt. Now that I've added the salt to our second brine, I'm going to add sage leaves and fresh thyme. And we're gonna let this simmer for 2 minutes, and then we're gonna cool it down and let it get ice cold. And tonight, we will brine our turkeys and let them have a nice bath. I could use a nice bath. All right, the moment has arrived to brine our turkeys. And this is something I have been doing for the past 7 years. My family loves it. And actually, Kenya and Lincoln, I'm doing this for you so you can look this up when you are hosting your own Thanksgiving and you're wondering, how did Mom do that? And guys, this isn't just for Thanksgiving. If you are having turkey for Christmas and you're hosting, please feel free to do this. But just know that if you're gonna brine a turkey, you want to do it the night before. So it's not something you can really do the day of. I've got the bucket and I'm using 2 bags, and this is the bag the turkey's gonna go into. We have the first turkey that we're doing this Thanksgiving, and this is the one we're gonna roast. But once again, I'm brining both of them. So the first thing you wanna do when you get your Thanksgiving turkey is make sure that you let it set out 1 to 2 days in the fridge, or maybe even 3 days before in the refrigerator to thaw out if you didn't get a fresh turkey. The second thing you need to do when you get the turkey unpackaged, you just need to make sure and remove the neck and the bag of gizzards from the turkey before you do anything else. Now once you go ahead and you're ready to brine the turkey, you're going to put it in the bucket, and you want to make sure you put it breast side down. Okay, you're gonna add a gallon of heavily iced water into the bucket with the turkey, and now you're gonna do the brine that we made. Okay, once you've got everything in there, you're going to seal up the turkey.
Oh, no, I didn't see that. I haven't been on it.
We will put the turkey in the garage since it's cold enough, and we've got them in ice. You have plenty of ice in there, and you'll want to brine the turkey overnight. We roast our turkey, so tomorrow morning I'll rinse it off and put it in the roasting pan, put the seasoning on it, and get it in the oven. Okay, so after you get them rinsed off, we are going to put salt underneath the skin and some butter, and then put some aromatics inside, and then put the tint over him and roast. Favorite appetizers. I make this for a lot of parties. We make it at Christmas time, we make it at Thanksgiving time, and it's my stuffed mushroom recipe. And this recipe actually I kind of make up in my head. I'll try and post it in the description below, but if you guys are going to be entertaining this holiday season, I highly recommend trying these stuffed mushrooms. They're really good. Everybody seems to love them, and it's been a really big hit. So we're gonna go ahead and do that recipe today. I've gone ahead and taken the white mushrooms and I've rinsed them off, and I've separated the stems. I've got the stems in this bowl from the tops. And so what we're gonna do now is take the stems and we're going to dice them. While I'm dicing the stems, I have some bacon going in the oven. And I'm gonna pull that out because this recipe calls for bacon as well. My mushroom stems all diced, along with about a half a cup of onions. You want finely diced mushroom stems and the half cup onions. And we're gonna add this to a skillet that I am melting butter in, and we're gonna saute that for about 10 minutes.
Yum.
I'm so lucky to have my sister-in-law here today to be with me and
I'm the
hold
camera
the
lady.
camera. I have a famous camera lady.
I don't know about that.
I don't know if I can afford her.
Now, can I charge to
Yeah,
hold camera?
absolutely. I'll pay you.
This looks so good. This is way better than my stuffed mushrooms. Don't make mine. Make hers.
Oh, no. Make Sarah's too. So we're going to saute these for like 10 minutes. Now that you sauteed the onions and the mushroom stems, we're going to go ahead and add in just Italian breadcrumbs. And I add in anywhere from about a half a cup to 3/4 cup. It kind of just depends on the consistency. I'll show you the consistency here in a minute. But we just sit here and we mix it in. And then we're going to add chicken broth to this to make it moist. All right, I've added my breadcrumbs, and this is the consistency. It kind of looks like stuffing, actually. And then the other thing that we're going to add is I made some bacon in the oven, and we're going to add our diced bacon. Usually to this recipe, I add slivered almonds. I forgot to get those at the store, and I'm just going to go ahead and forgo them and not put them in the recipe. They're still really good. But if you like the almonds, please, by all means, go ahead and add the almonds. Now, to this, we're going to add chicken broth to moisten it, but you don't want it too soupy. We're just going to get it until it starts holding together. That makes like the stuffing for the mushrooms. And we'll just keep mixing and adding and mixing and adding until we get the consistency that I'm looking for. On the consistency of the mushrooms, I'm sorry I'm not more precise with this, but that is the best thing I can tell you is you just have to take a piece and taste it. If it's still kind of dry in your mouth, it's too dry. So this is about the consistency that I wanted. The last thing that you want to add is grated Parmesan cheese. So we're going to go ahead and add that, and then we're going to start stuffing the mushrooms. All right, so now that we've got our stuffing made, what we're going to do is we're going to take and we're going to stuff the mushrooms, and you're going to put them in a greased 9x13 pan. And we're not going to bake them today, but it's kind of how you want them to look. And then you're going to set them side by side in the pan. I use my fingers. And so we'll fill up the pan with those, and then you will bake them at 375 degrees for 20 to 25 minutes, or until you see that they're warm and they're ready to go. You won't see them today, but we'll pull them out of the oven tomorrow. I hope you enjoy.